Welcome to Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast, the podcast that empowers you to turn your dreams into reality using the law of attraction. I'm your host, Papi DiNuzzo, and together we'll dive into the mindset, strategies, and energy shifts you need to create the life you've always envisioned. Whether it's health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, or spirituality. Inspired by my transformative book, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, each episode brings you practical tools, inspiring stories, and bold insights to unlock your limitless potential. Get ready to manifest your greatness, and let's dive in.
Give a fish, teach to fish, delivering hope. A Paying It Forward self-improvement and personal development charitable community outreach initiative. Founded, supported, and funded by DiNuzzo Private Wealth, Inc. Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. We're excited to have you to hear Papi share his inspiring message of hope and inspiration. If you're looking for an inspirational speaker to uplift your organization or nonprofit group, consider booking Papi. He's passionate about spreading his message of hope and inspiration, and he is willing to speak for free to your nonprofit group. Papi has also expanded his reach through social media. He launched Papi Mindset Coach on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, Twitter, and Rumble. His community is growing rapidly with over 10,000 views on TikTok alone. So please join the movement by following Papi Mindset Coach on social media so that you can assist him in promoting his important message of hope and inspiration with his fellow brothers and sisters in need all around the world. Now let's go to Papi to set the table. Good morning, Papi.
Good morning, Mikey. Good morning, Suzanne. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. Namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. And yeah, Mikey, I just give gratitude every time I meet with Andrew a couple of times a week, at least twice a week, working on our social media. And I know we're approaching around 25,000 in total right now. And what's so nice is we've got like a really nice presence on 4 channels. As you said, TikTok has been leading the way for us along with YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So we're projected in short order to be over 10,000 subscribers and viewers on 4 different channels. And that's just so nice because a lot of people I meet, maybe they'll have a presence on one channel, but hardly anything on others. So we've got a lot of compliments from our fellow brothers and sisters that some of our fellow brothers and sisters are only on Facebook, or they're only on Instagram, or only primarily on YouTube or TikTok for that matter. So it's really nice. So we're off to a great start, and we're just full of gratitude and appreciation and thanks here at Papi Mindset Coach. So I want to thank you, everyone. Namaste. Thank you so much for the support that you've given us. Again, I start off, as I said, namaste. The spirit in me greets the spirit in you. I am so happy and grateful now that today is the greatest day of your life. My fellow brothers and sisters, you get to create whatever you want to in your life. You get to manifest through the law of attraction and create anything that you want. I always remind you, I come to you from a perspective of 100% spirituality. From the very top point of spirituality, I never discuss religion. We stay neutral as to everything. Governments, religion, politics, neutral as to all. Just from a perspective of 100% spirituality. We're communicating with our fellow brothers and sisters pretty much on every continent across the globe. There are a lot of different belief systems. I would never tell anyone, obviously, that their belief system is incorrect. We don't judge our fellow brothers and sisters. We've never walked in their shoes. So we respect our fellow brothers and sisters. They're looking to improve themselves, looking to manifest their life to improve their lives for themselves and their immediate loved ones and everyone around them. So we support each other. We came here, as you've heard me say, first and foremost, you came here to love yourself, number one. And in a tie for number one is to love your fellow brothers and sisters and do no harm. So we give gratitude for today, that today is the greatest day of our life. Congratulations, my fellow brothers and sisters, for you have created your masterpiece today. It's already done. It's in the present. It's already done. And for you, enjoying your magnificent day. So thank you so much. Yes, Mike, and that dovetails right into a recent presentation I gave. The name of the organization was Black Girls Social Club. And I did a in-person presentation in like an inner city group in Cleveland, Ohio. And there was a wonderful woman who leads the organization. Her name is Ashley. And as often happens, whenever I speak to a group, that you can see the wheels that start to turn. And she's like, I think this would be really nice for a women's group that I have. So I'm honored every time that I get to interact with our fellow brothers and sisters. And what it is, Mikey, is basically a entrepreneur group of Black women, of women of color. And there was women. It was a virtual meeting because it was really geographically diverse. Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago, St. Louis, all throughout the Midwest, about a half a dozen or more cities. And it was just so great to have these entrepreneurs on the presentation. And what I love, Mikey, and I'll take a snag of it, because what I love doing is on any presentation, going back and taking a look at the chats. And when I went back and looked at the chats later on that I had secured, just the positive comments, and it's all across the board. There's some folks that are quizzical. How does that work? That sounds interesting. I'm not so sure about this. I'm glad that Ashley asked this gentleman to speak. And there was one that stuck with me, Mike. It was maybe about 10 minutes or so into my 45-minute to 1 hour presentation. About 10 minutes in, this one woman, she was from, I think, Chicago or St. Louis area. At her chat about 10 minutes in was, "I love this. I just absolutely love it." So, what always excites me, Mikey, is when, for example, when one of our fellow brothers or sisters makes a comment like that, that's speaking to their subconscious mind, access to all knowledge and all power of all time. Oftentimes, and as our regular listeners have heard me state, Mikey, that is my purpose. My why is my Italian grandmother Rose, my Polish grandma Phyllis, my Polish grandma Anna, and my mother Phyllis. They never heard this their entire lives. They worked in those steel mills. My grandfather's for over 40 years. My Italian grandma had 13 children. They worked so hard, these people, and I love them so much. These three women are the most important people in my life. They're my muses, my mentors, and I watch them build families and work and support husbands and children and be partners with their spouses. But all they did was that 3D highway, working 60 or 70 hours a week. They never knew that this 5D highway existed, how powerful it is using our imagination. It starts with our thoughts, and then it flows through and becomes reality due to our emotions and our feelings. I would offer, Mikey, to our fellow brothers and sisters today, every great invention, every great breakthrough, the greatest politicians that you can think of in hundreds of years, inventors, scientists, physicians, anything all across the board, technology, everything that you are awe-inspired, every breakthrough started in one of our fellow brothers sisters' minds. They used their imagination and they thought the thought, and then they applied themselves and they applied emotion to it. And if you go back, Mikey, our fellow brothers and sisters, take a look at all these big breakthroughs. There was often huge negative energy coming at these individuals. They were helping us raise our society and how we treat our fellow brothers and sisters to a new level. Take a look at Abraham Lincoln, for example. There's often tremendous forces against our fellow brothers and sisters when we did that, but living in that reality. And you, my fellow brothers and sisters, when you realize that the most powerful force on earth is this creative power within you that resides in your subconscious mind that creates 95% or more of everything that you have on earth, when you realize the control you have over that and the reality in your subconscious mind must be mirrored and reflected due to the universal laws and brought into your life, you will attract individuals, groups, assets, resources, opportunities, alignments, as long as you can hold this thought in your mind and in your heart and apply the positive emotions to it. So to see that group, Mikey, that I spoke to see them mature and see us develop, and a lot of them, again, are pillars in their local communities, and for them to take this out and share this. So again, Mikey, it's all the way across the board all the time. I'm certain there were fellow sisters of ours on that presentation who, like a couple of the ones who fell in love with it and went right out and 100%. And then some other ones maybe 80%, 50. But even if we can just plant the seed, and that's all I do, my fellow brothers and sisters, is plant a seed and offer you a suggestion. That's all I ever do, is offer you a suggestion. I build a case around that suggestion so that you can entertain it and do some research on your own and see if it resonates and vibrates with you. Just offering you the suggestion that when I talk to our fellow brothers and sisters and I ask them to give me the grades of your life, health, wealth, happiness, love, relationship, spirituality, and they'll come back and say, "Pappy, I looked at my grades on these these big six categories here, and even other ones, whatever you like. Say, Pappy, I'm not too happy with my grades. I've been at this for 20 years, 40 years, 60 years, 80 years or more, and I'm not happy with this. And I just ask you, my fellow brothers and sisters, are you willing to entertain that there may be a different approach to this than this physical 3D approach you've been taking? So that was a great breakthrough, Mikey. The presentation, the energy was just so good. And I was so grateful for Ashley inviting me to speak to that very powerful women's organization, these entrepreneurs, mothers, head of households. I would look at it as the glue. And I always look at my grandmothers, and I've always said, Mikey, for decades and decades, I mean, I'm so grateful for women. They're the glue that holds everything together. And just to meet these women who are the glue holding things together in their communities all across the Midwest, I was really honored to be able to interact with them. So we had a great evening that evening.
That's awesome. Girl power, right? So
It was a lot of girl power, a lot of very positive feminine energy. Yeah, it
yeah.
was awesome.
And that's great. And I think that's, it's perfect that your message, it's so, like you said, it is universal. And you could have very successful women that need to hear the message as well, because you can always improve. But like you said, you could plant a seed. And that one seed is just going to, like you say, well, actually, the better, like plant a kernel, and then your popcorn starts popping, So
Yeah.
I think that's great. And everyone needs to hear positive messages. And your message is definitely positive. And Pappy sends out a weekly email with 2 empowering concepts to live by. And they come directly to your inbox, and they're just a great reminder to help you stay focused on your positive mindset. And the more we hear positive things, the more we're going to start to believe in them. And Pappy always says that repetition is your key to manifesting. And in a world where there's so much negativity all around us, he wants to keep it out of your inbox. So if you haven't already, please sign up to our mailing list so that you can receive these positive concepts to live by. And Pappy, I know you're sharing 2 of them with us today.
Yes, thank you, Mike. You have 2 great ones queued up again, actions and acceptance. And we we could do hours on each of these. I'll try to give an executive summary. I'll go with actions first, Mikey. Actions, again, my fellow brothers and sisters, use your imagination. Think of it up here, up above your head. This is where all the magic starts. You're using your imagination. You're applying your thoughts to your imagination. Everything starts up here. As you think a thought in your imagination, I want you to identify what you want. Identify a want. One of the most common questions, one of the most common conversations I have, unfortunately, is my fellow brothers and sisters will come up to me one way, shape, or form and say, Pappy, you've turned me on to this. I want to know more. I want to start to manifest. And I'll ask my fellow brother and sister, what is it that you want? And the majority of times, unfortunately, they'll say, Pappy, I don't know what I want. And I'll say, I'm not going to be able to help you until you know what you want. And more importantly, I'm not going to be able to help you. You're not going to be able to know what to ask the universe. If you don't know what you want, you don't know what you're going to ask for. So you have to identify your wants. You identify that want, what you want. Let's call that your goal. And if you start to apply your emotions, as I've been talking about today, then that want will come into your conscious mind. Now, I want you to apply more emotion to it. And the more you invest your feelings and emotions into it, as if it's reality and how much you want it, it will deposit into the rich treasure of your subconscious mind. I talk about that stick figure, that large circle around your head with the line through the middle, conscious mind on top, SC, subconscious mind on the bottom in that bowl. And when it's in the bowl, it now becomes a desire. And I would just remind our fellow brothers and sisters now, Mikey, that our goals, when I talk about desire, this isn't a human S, small s self desire. Our desires and our wants and our goals are not, capital N, capital O, capital T, are not to get. They're not to get. They are to grow. That's what they're for. I've spoken before, Mikey. One of the best examples I could think of is a young gentleman that came up to me. He was born in Africa. He just texted me. I can't remember how he contacted him. I think he texted me out of the clear blue sky. Pappy, I now know what I want. And I had a little chat with him. I says, what is it that you want, my brother? He says, I want to have $1 billion. I want to have $1 billion. I'm going to be a billionaire. And I said, is it okay if I offer a suggestion to you? He says, oh, sure, Pappy, go right ahead. I said, what if you were just to slightly modify what you believe to be as your faith 10X goal, your largest goal? And what if you change that goal a little bit to your goals that you want to deliver $1 billion of value to your fellow brothers and sisters. And you get to see the light bulb go off. I want to be a billionaire and have $1 billion. That's the get part. You're wanting to get that. The universe doesn't work in that manner. If you deliver $1 billion of value to your fellow brothers and sisters, you're going to have the $1 billion, but you're doing it to grow. You're doing it to grow. And it may seem like a matter of semantics, but this is mission critical, how important this is. So our wants and our desires and our goals are to grow. You came here, my fellow brothers and sisters, to further express, expand, increase, and grow and create. You came here to co-create with universal intelligence, with source energy, to manifest anything you can imagine through this powerhouse, this unlimited powerhouse in your subconscious mind. Is connected to all knowledge and all power of all time. Now, Mikey, back to the thoughts. They flow through us. We're applying emotions. They're in our subconscious mind. We create a desire. And now this flows down to our body. Our body is the third element in our mind. Your mind consists of your conscious mind working in harmony with your subconscious mind, working in harmony with your body. And when we apply these emotions, Mikey, they come out of our body, and these vibrations come out and they turn into frequencies. And this vibration coming out of us initiates us to take action. Now, I've mentioned before, there was the book and the movie called The Secret. Absolutely phenomenal book, even a more phenomenal movie, but very little, if almost zero action that was spoken about. My fellow brothers and sisters, I call it efficient, inspired, joyful. So think about inspired and joyful. Those are two emotionally related words, inspired and joyful. For you to be successful, you get to, and sometimes it resonates better, need. We don't want to think there, but you get to or need to take efficient, inspired, joyful action. And everything on earth is created twice. Everything on earth is created twice. First, in your mind and one of our 8 billion plus fellow brothers or sisters' mind. And then second, the physical object back of it is completed. And that can only be completed through action. So actions, Mikey, are one of my 15 key ingredients in my recipe to manifest anything you can imagine. Some of those 15 key ingredients will resonate better with our fellow brothers and sisters than others. But action, don't leave home without it. Mandatory for you to be able to be successful. And then you've got another sort of granddaddy concept today, acceptance. This is so important. It's just so exciting. There's the law of acceptance. So there's a universal law of acceptance. And acceptance is at the tail end of the process and the procedure as well, as far as manifesting anything you can imagine and allowing it, the law of allowance, the law of acceptance, for this to come into you, into your life. In order for you to do this, you get to be, I try to use acronyms to help you remember everything. HAF, harmony, alignment, and flow. When you're in harmony, alignment, and flow, and you are in a place to accept what you're manifesting to come to you, then it can and will come into your life. I think here, Mikey, without going on too big of a concept, I would just point the audience to a gentleman by the name of Neville Goddard, Neville. Goddard is Goddard. And Neville Goddard, HOF, Hall of Fame. Off the top of my head, two of the greatest things that he left us with. He passed away years ago, but there's tons of videos of him presenting, or at least audio version on YouTube. I know there's a ton on there. And one of the gifts that he gave us, one of the big gifts he gave us was self-talk, and I'll discuss that on a different show. But the one I'm discussing right now is assumption of the wish fulfilled. He would talk about the assumption of the wish fulfilled, and that is what allows you to accept this and to be in alignment and to be under the law of allowance for this to come into your life and accept it. Oftentimes, Mikey, when individuals done everything right regarding manifesting this entire process, this comes to them on a conveyor belt, and when it's right in front of them and they're ready to sort of shake its hand or grab it, embrace it, hug it, wrap it around their arms, place this into their life, whatever it is, your paradigm and your limiting beliefs are going to give one last major war, battle, salvo, however you want to look at it, an attempt for you. Your ego is going to come in one way, shape, or form to attempt for you for this to drop and you not to grab it. So being an acceptance and the law of allowance, the assumption of the wish fulfilled is so powerful. Assume how you would feel when your goal has been attained, when your goal has been attained, or one of your most important experiences, and just immerse yourself in that. Live in that feeling as much as you can. Think about that when you wake up in the morning. Think about it before you go to sleep. Think about it throughout the day. Being immersed in that feeling of success, love, whatever it may be. It may have something to do with business, relationships, health. It could be physical health, mental health, and live in that assumption of that wish fulfilled, in that feeling and that emotion. And it must, by universal law, be drawn into you. Once you work through the process and you allow this and you accept it, you can and will, what you think in your mind, you can and will hold it in your hand.
So I think what you're saying is that acceptance and action work together. Like you can't have one without the other. And that
Yes.
like the acceptance allows you to accept your current situation, and then the action propels you forward in order to move. This sounds like
Yeah,
that was what you're trying
yeah,
to
what
say.
I would say, yeah, Mikey, they're both mandatory, both key critical elements of the process. The way I think of it, Mikey, is that when I tell our fellow brothers and sisters, you're standing on a football field, it could be U.S. or international, and you're standing on the goal on this end of the field, and on the other end of the goal is where the process starts. And when you have that thought, you hear something running, you see, oh, there's a conveyor belt I see going from the other goal all the way to my goal. And as you start to use your imagination, have a thought, Mikey, you say, oh, I'm thinking about a new bicycle. I see the outline of a bicycle being placed on that conveyor belt 100 or more yards away from me on this conveyor belt on this football field. So you're thinking about it, your imagination, your thought starts the process. And here it comes in a conveyor belt. And as this bicycle comes as just a little bit of a faint outline, it develops more and more. That is what your thoughts are doing. That's what your thoughts are doing and your feelings are doing, is developing that and moving it toward you. Now, my fellow brothers and sisters, this conveyor belt will not come the entire 100 plus yards all the way to you and drop this in your lap. You, at the same time, must take steps forward, walking toward it to meet it. Now, you would think on average, you'd have to meet it around midfield at the midpoint. But the great news here is that you are so loved by universal intelligence source energy. And this is such a grand process of creation, of co-creation of everything. The universe can and is willing and will do the majority of the work if you allow it to. So universal intelligence will bring this materially past half field towards you, but you still get to and need to walk toward it. And by moving forward, Mikey, we can only do that through action. That's what we talked about, efficient, inspired, joyful action. Now, at the point, so let's say in U.S. football field, your actions, you walk out 20 or 30 yards, the universe does the work with your mind and with your feelings, with your thoughts and feelings, bring it to you 70 or 80 yards. And at that point of inflection, Mikey, when it's right ready in front of you on that conveyor belt, they come to you. Are you willing to accept it? Do you truly believe that this is yours? Are you open up enough in the vibration of harmony, alignment, and flow for this to come right into you? So the feeling, my fellow brothers and sisters, at that moment in time, when this comes into your life, the success, the love, the health, whatever this is, it's almost like you just have a very thin screen in front of you, and you just walk through this very thin screen, and bam, you come into contact with this new reality and this success, this new partner, this greater, better health, whatever it is now you're living it. It is now your reality. So that last moment, Mikey, at the very end of this process for the allowance and the acceptance, I'm letting our fellow brothers and sisters know your paradigm, your hardware and software operating system that resides in your subconscious mind. And I told you, my fellow brothers and sisters, a big part of my job is, and I say this with all love and respect, that your software program in your subconscious mind has a virus. And it's from all the outside in living everyone's been done, from all the negativity that's come into your life. It could even be a weather report that you hear coming on your way to work. It could be parents, brothers, sisters, children, the news, social media, the radio, the television, negativity coming into you that you haven't canceled or rejected, and you've allowed to go in your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind says, you are the king, you are the queen, you are the ruler I will take action on anything that you, the king or queen or ruler, tell me to do, which is called self-talk, another Neville Goddard one, which is called self-talk, or anything you allow me to hear from another source and don't correct. If you let me hear it, I'm going to take action on it because you're the ruler. So again, protecting that, the paradigm is going to give one last Donnybrook of a battle at the end to come in and stop you from accepting this or allowing it. But that last part, Mikey, is just so mission critical under law of allowance, law of acceptance.
Awesome. And I just love the example that you used too about the football field, because I could just see, you can visualize yourself growing towards the goal line. And that's exactly what you want to do. So, and speaking of football, Pappy's an awesome coach, and he always has a coaching tip for us. Pappy, what's your coaching tip today to manifest the law of attraction?
Yeah, Mikey, the one that strikes me again, from the group I was presenting with, and it ties into the previous presentation I gave to them in Cleveland, Ohio. And it was a younger group that day. Now, these were the parents, so to speak, throughout the Midwest. But I just like to remind our fellow brothers and sisters, because I get this question a good bit as well, Mikey. And I simply would sum this up, Mikey. The coaching tip for me to remind our fellow brothers and sisters is anyone, anywhere, anytime, any situation. Anyone, anywhere, anytime, any situation. I've talked to individuals, Mikey, and basically to paraphrase the conversation, one of our fellow brothers may say to me, Pappy, really turned on by this. It's singing to me. It's ringing. I'm so excited. I've been starting on this journey, but I really want to wait until I get a better position. And I'll say, what is it, my brother? And they'll be, Pappy, you know what? I work for this big company and there may be 1,000 employees and I'm just a janitor. I would say I might be like employee or team member number 1,000 out of these 1,000 employees or team members at the company I work for. So I'm going to wait till I get a better job. No. My fellow brothers and sisters, you are loved exactly the way you are right now. You are loved 100% with the most absolute love you can ever imagine right now where you're at. Anyone, anywhere, anytime, any situation. I say an awful lot, Mikey, when I present to try to appeal a little bit to people's reason, even sometimes. Do you think that source energy that loves you 100% absolute love would say, yes, this is how the universe works. You can manifest anything you can imagine through the law of attraction, manifest anything into your life, health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, spirituality, anything. But BUT, you have to wait and give me a call once you have $10,000 in the bank. Or you have to wait and give me a call once you've purchased an automobile, that you are the owner of an automobile. Or wait until you've purchased and you're the owner of a house, that you own your own home. The universe would never say that. Source energy would never say that. As you are in any way, shape, or form, any state you're in, it doesn't matter. We are all loved with absolute love, 100%. We all have exactly the same perfect spirit, perfect spiritual DNA, perfect spiritual spark, access to all knowledge and all power of one time, all knowledge and all power of all time. My fellow brothers and sisters, you have access to it. So I just remind Mikey, my teaching point today is anyone, anywhere, anytime, any situation, you have as equal power as any of our 8 billion plus brothers and sisters on earth for you to be able to manifest anything you can imagine. So please, I implore you, get started today. I remind our fellow brothers and sisters, Mikey, Papi Mindset Coach, PAPI, PapiMindsetCoach.com. I have, since inception, I give away my book for free. So my book is Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. You can get it free on my website. It's a free ebook, an electronic book, a free ebook to everyone and anyone. So when I'm telling you to study up on this, you don't have to go out and buy a book or anything. Just start to read my book, read it, and look at least one page every day and start to internalize this information. So thank you, Mikey, for that one.
Yeah. So no excuses, right? Like you have no excuses. You get your book for free. It's universal. It's doesn't matter if you're young, old, rich, poor, you can manifest anything that you can imagine. And that's encouraging. And it's simple. I mean, you give gratitude, you set your intentions, you take action, and you give affirmations. And I know that Pappy gives affirmations every day. And I give my affirmations every day. And I've learned that you start your affirmations in the present. And you always say, I am so happy and grateful now that. And I know Pappy has one he's going to share with us today.
Yes, Mikey. And just as a reminder from what you and I have been discussing back and forth, how powerful our subconscious mind is, and that it must take action on any instruction that you give it, any direction you give it. And that's what you're doing with your affirmation. That's what you're doing with your affirmation. I am. And I always spell am, capital A, capital M. You're recognizing the God force that's inside of you. You're recognizing this unlimited creative power that you possess. Every single one of you, my fellow brothers and sisters, possesses this unlimited access to all knowledge and all power of all time, this creative power. I am. And what do we talk about over and over again? Emotions and applying ourselves and applying feelings to the process. I am so happy. And as you said, Mikey, you're very good at gratitude. I am so happy and grateful now, always in the present. I am so happy and grateful now that I live in universal intelligence's perfect and infinite sea of wisdom, love, life, abundance, joy, and harmony. Just think of this, my fellow brothers and sisters. You literally live in an unlimited sea, SEA, an unlimited sea of wisdom, unlimited love, unlimited life, unlimited abundance, unlimited joy, unlimited harmony. My fellow brothers and sisters, there's so much to uplift your spirits. There's so many positive messages. All matter, all energy, all life has been created eons and eons and eons ago. There's no more created. And most importantly, it can't be destroyed. It can only come into form, go through form, and out of form. Matter, energy, life. You are an eternal, ethereal, spiritual being. There is no end to you. I usually use the word spirit, Mikey, but I would just remind our fellow brothers and sisters, sometimes it resonates better with using the word soul to some of our brothers and sisters. You are a soul that just happens to be in a human body, a physical 3D body. You are not, capital N, capital O, capital T. You are not a physical 3D body that has a soul. That makes all the difference in the world for you to understand that. You are this perfect, ethereal, spiritual being that is endless. You never die. You have been here for eons and eons and eons. You are an eternal spiritual being having a limited physical experience. So just for the audience here, Mike, we're getting really back to some really big pictures, but you are in this infinite sea of wisdom, love and life, abundance, joy and harmony. Please, my fellow brothers and sisters, just use your imagination and just start to step into even just a little bit of this and watch how it resonates with you and how your life can improve. And you could be on the road immediately to a new, greater life than you could ever imagine.
I mean, the universe is trying to give us everything that we need, and it's all positive things. You just have to accept it and be grateful for it. So, and we've come to the part of the webinar where we get to ask Papi a manifest question. If you have a question for Papi, you can go to the website and submit it at the link at the top. And the question that we have today is, what are the signs that my manifestation is working?
The signs are, Mike, one thing that the universe talks an awful lot about is how bad that human beings are at recognizing signs, how bad we are at external stimuli and paying attention to our environment, no matter what it may be. So I'll just remind our fellow brothers and sisters here. And I would think, Mikey, I talk about your large faith 10x goal. But even setting intentions throughout your day. So you've got I teach you to work on one really big goal, your faith 10x goal. That's your really big one. And then you've got your 3 to 6 most important experiences every day. And those are the ones that are going to sort of make or break things. If you're knocking these out and you're successful, even at your 3 most important experiences every day, you are going to see signs of dramatic improvement. And the best way that I teach you to manage these most important experiences and your other experiences, which are important as well, is through your intentions. As you set your intentions, I would suggest, Mike, and our fellow brothers and sisters, even on what they would consider the smallest of intentions, we're manifesting because we're accessing this universal intelligence, this universal force, and this energy. Is that when you wake up, you just set an intention again that if you have a loved one in the house, it can be a spouse, a partner, significant other, parent, child, relative, whatever it is. you can set an intention as soon as you wake up that you want to have an excellent initiation of your day, and you want this other individual or individuals, you want them to hear you, you want to hear them. You want to respect them, you want them to respect you. You want them to feel your love, the love that you have for them. You want to feel their love as well. You want them to feel your love and coming back to you as well. That you want to get off to a great day. You can offer an intention, and even if your breakfast is a cup of coffee or just a banana, whatever it may be, offer an intention. You have the most nutritious and nourishing breakfast that nourishes your body as much as humanly possible. That you have the best hygiene process for your hygiene in the morning, brushing your teeth and everything else, that you present yourself to your fellow brothers and sisters as well as possible, and they can recognize your impression of increase that you're delivering to them, your positive energy. Then when you get in your car, you can offer an intention that you have safe, happy, healthy, wonderful drive to work. Let's just say you drive your car to work and that it's worry-free, it's it's free of any stress at all, and also that your fellow brothers and sisters all around you drive safely as well. And you'll just start to notice, Mike, even these little areas. You say, when I get to work, when I get to my place of work, I'm offering my intention that my initial interaction with my fellow brothers and sisters, that they receive my impression of increase whenever I meet them. They receive positive energy from me, my impression of increase whenever I first meet them. And you'll notice, Mikey, if our fellow brothers and sisters are paying attention, hey, my mornings aren't as crazy and aren't as hectic anymore. Hey, I'm getting along a lot better with whoever this other individual or individuals are in the house with me. That things are going even better, even like whoever's in charge of like letting the dog out to go to the bathroom. Set these intentions. And these aren't, we have our big faith 10X goal, then we have our 3 or our 6 most important experiences. These ones in the morning for starting off our day, our intentions aren't even our most important, but just watch how your life improves all around the perimeter for what you're setting attention. Again, Mikey, just as a reminder, we set our intentions at the beginning or even at the end, whenever we're done. We always state, I am so happy and grateful. Oh, my bad on this one here, Mikey. I want it and I expect it. We always have to let the universe know that we want it. We have to ask. So I say, I want it and I expect it. I want and I expect it. I want and I expect it. And then we close with, I bless and I thank you. I bless and I thank you. I bless and I thank you. So we're letting the universe know we want it, and we're saying we expect it. So we've got that confidence. It's like that assumption of the wish fulfilled I talked about at the beginning of the show. And now we're giving gratitude at the end again, Mikey. I bless and I thank you. I bless and I thank you that these experiences have already been successful. So my fellow brothers and sisters, pay attention to around you. And even on these small, you'll see your larger manifesting with code creating with universal intelligence come into your life. But again, remember, my fellow brothers and sisters, for every 5 thoughts that the average human being has, 4 are negative. And if you can just envision that what I'm telling you is how the universe works, that it starts with your thoughts. If you're putting out 4 negative thoughts and only 1 positive thought, that's why our fellow brothers and sisters are drawing more negative in. Health, wealth, happiness, love, relationships, spirituality. They're drawing it in. So there is a reality that's available through your subconscious mind. That's when you're living inside out. And there's a reality that's available that you all see outside of you right now, that you see through your conscious mind coming outside in. You will never be successful catching spears, jumping on hand grenades, catching Molotov cocktails all day long with everything coming toward you and letting that set your intentions, your vibrations, how you think, how you feel. Live inside out, as we've been describing all morning here for you on today's show. So again, Mikey, if our fellow brothers and sisters could even pay attention to the smaller variables in their life that they're setting intentions on, they're going to see improvement even on these, and then they can just work up from there as they build their confidence.
Awesome. So you have to really be open to these signs because they could be very subtle. And you and I know, like, you could be doing something like, oh, what a coincidence. And you and I know there are no coincidences. That is the universe. That's the universe giving you signs. Like, that's the universe working for you. So,
And Mike, if you don't mind, you're so good at stimulating thought. That's one of your superpowers. I'll just share this with the audience and my fellow brothers and sisters. All I do is offer suggestions. And I'll just give you a suggestion. So, Mikey, 2 nights ago, I get up at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the restroom, and my phone was somewhere by the side of the bed, and I bumped my phone, and it falls about 2 feet or so and hits the floor. And as soon as my phone hits the floor, it starts playing a short from one of the social media channels. Okay, so I'd cleared everything before I went to sleep. I wasn't in any programs. I certainly wasn't on that social media channel. It hits the floor, and immediately, Mikey, it's one of my shorts on one of the social media channels talking about Neville Goddard and the assumption of the wish fulfilled at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm looking at myself. It's talking clearly. I'm right into this video. So long story short, I reached out to the universe about it and I said, that certainly wasn't a coincidence, was it? And they're like, no, it wasn't a coincidence. And I said, where'd it come from? And there's always, finally, I'm persistent and finally got to the point. They're like, that was your spirit guide that sent that to you. You needed to be reminded of that to incorporate more of that. Again, I've got 15 key ingredients and the recipe and everything else, but that is a sort of, seems like obvious, Mikey, like the phone hits the floor, something pops up that wasn't even on there, etc. But our fellow brothers and sisters are receiving these messages all day long, these indications. I mean, even something as simple as a feather, you find a feather, there's typically a message behind that. Take a look at it. What were you thinking? What type of affirmation were you offering? Or what type of intention were you offering? Or what type of prayer? It could be something you were praying on. The universe for millennia has communicated with us through nature. We have not got very good at nature for however long now, 100 years or whatever have you, in reading signs and symbols in nature. So there are things that come through via technology that will come through us as well. I would just offer one last thing, Mike. I just love reminding people, the people like, oh, Pappy, woo. And let me tell you what, my fellow brothers and sisters, we live in a thought world within a perfect and infinite thought universe, all operating under perfect and infinite universal laws. Law of cause and effect, law of vibration, law of attraction, law of energy, law of perpetual transmutation of energy, law of gratitude, law of allowance, resonance, law of resonance, all of these laws. And Mikey, they're just like the law of gravity here on Earth. Doesn't matter if you understand them, doesn't matter if you know they exist or not just Earth, the entire infinite universe is operating under these laws. Traveling at the speed of light, how far have we figured out how to travel as human beings? To the moon. Let's just give us that for now. And traveling at the speed of light, how long does it take to get to the moon? I'll give you a hint. How many seconds? Approximately 1 second at the speed of light. If you're sitting in a room right now and you look at one edge of the ceiling to the other edge of the ceiling and envision that's one edge of the known universe that we live in to the other edge of the known universe that we live in, traveling at the speed of light, how long would it take you as a human being traveling at the speed of light to go from one edge of our known universe to the other? I'll give you a hint here. It's in years. It's larger than thousands. It's larger than millions. It's billions. How many billion years? Over 90 billion years to get from one edge of our known universe to the other. 90 billion years traveling at the speed of light. And all we figured out as human beings is how to get to a distance of 1 second away from us. Mikey, this universe is so complex. It is so complex. It is so fascinating. It is so surreal. We can't even begin to be a little human being, like shaking our hand at something like, I've got to understand. It's impossible to understand. The beauty and the complexity and the structure of this universe is beyond our comprehension how this works. We're being sent everything to improve our lives here from the specific universal laws. And that's what I'm sharing with our fellow brothers and sisters today. I just ask you, my fellow brothers and sisters, what I said when I started the show today, I'm here to offer suggestions. That's all I do. But just consider that you and your fellow brothers and sisters in the history of this planet have figured out how to travel a distance of 1 second when there's 90 billion years out there. And just consider we may not know very much at all, or in fact, hardly anything about how this works. And I ask you to trust universal laws operate this entire universe. And I'm introducing to them every show and trying to explain them as well as possible.
You do a great job at that. And I love hearing those kind of stories about how the universe talks to other people about your phone. That's always fascinating. And along with the other things I'm working on myself, I'm trying to pick up these little signals a little bit better from the universe because all this noise going on around you. So you really have to pay attention to these signs and be open to them when they come to you. So I love hearing that story.
It's right
Um,
around them.
Yes, exactly. Pappy, your book you showed us earlier, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine, is available. You want to give it free to people, an e-version, but you also can get the physical version and the Audible book. And the Audible book to me is really great too, because you can listen to it while you're doing other things. And the powerful thing about the book is hearing the quotes that you have come through you from the universe in your own voice. And I know that you're going to share a quote with us today, Pappy.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Yeah, the Audible book, again, for our fellow brothers and sisters who have access to Audible, I've just got so many comments. I was just talking to John the other day, Mike. He told me, Pappy, I'm so happy. I He said, I'm so happy that I've listened to something in your book for almost like 30 straight days. And he just said how much it helps him. And I tell our fellow brothers and sisters, even if you listen to it in the background, even passively, I was talking to my buddy Chris the other day. He has an exotic bird collection. I mean, this is easily over $100,000 of birds he has outside. It's almost like an aviary larger than most cities' aviary for these exotic birds that he has. Most of them would be indigenous to like Central and South America. He lives down in Florida. And he's like, Pappy, all I ever played for my birds is classical music. And then I love it so much, I play your book for them all the time. He said, he'll play classical music or my book going back and forth. And he's like, those are the two that they just absolutely love it. And I'm just sharing, this is anecdotal, but I always get a kick out of Chris out in his backyard. He has quite a few acres. He manifested his dream home. He was living in a duplex, so to speak, and manifested his dream home. So he has a place for his wonderful family and his birds. But yeah, the quotes, Mike, so many people say, Pap, if you could just do a whole book of quotes, so to speak, it would be so enjoyable and so fascinating. The one I see that you queued up today is from chapter 9. And in my book, of course, Manifest Anything You Can Imagine. When visualizing your goal, your emotions should be a high vibration at the same level as that of a child's on Christmas morning. To manifest, you must join with your inner child and forget what you have been taught and become one with your inner child of imagination. So, Mikey, what a great job you did. And thank you so much, Suzanne. What a great job Suzanne did for putting. So even this quote here, Mikey, from what we talked about today, even whenever you and I start meandering and we're, giving examples and metaphors and similes and different things setting up, talk about visualizing your goal and how important emotion is. Emotion at a high vibration, that of a child's on Christmas morning, at the highest vibration that child may have the entire year, Christmas morning. Then I also refer to, if you don't like to think about Christmas morning, think about getting in touch with your inner child, joining with your inner child when you were at the highest vibration. When you were 2 years old, 3 or 4 years old, you could see so much more than you do today because you were looking at through the eyes of your inner child. By the time you reach age 7, your subconscious mind now has had 7 years, 365 days a year, 24/7 of information coming in and hardwiring that subconscious mind. You look at an infant, look at a young child, 1, 2, 3 years old, even 4, 5, 6. You'll just see them looking at things. They'll look at something and smile. They're being interactive. Watch animals as well. If you're a dog or cat lover, watch your dog or cat whenever they're seeing something. They're never wrong. Okay, by the way, take a look at them when they notice something. We can only see, Mikey. Our human eyes can only see basically single digits, well less than 10%. That is everything around us. The rays that are around us, the colors that are around us, information, everything else, different vibrations. We can only see a very, very small fraction. So get in touch with your inner child and forget what you've been taught. That's what we said earlier, Mikey. Don't live your life outside in. I want you to live inside out. Take this pure spirit and power and energy that's flowing down into you and through you and live inside out. So you're in control. You're in charge and step into that assumption of the wish fulfilled of your goal, that you're living in it and you have and you possess it, and you can and will hold that in your hand.
Awesome. What a great quote to end on. And we hope that everyone is at their highest vibration today. If you need a Pappy Mindset Coach, be sure that you're signed up on pappymindsetcoach.com to receive Pappy's free educational emails and get access to upcoming live events conducted by Pappy to help you manifest the health, wealth, happiness, and love of your dreams. And just one additional reminder to please remember to like, subscribe, and share Pappy Mindset Coach social media links on your social media choice. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much. That's a wrap for this episode of Manifest Anything You Can Imagine podcast. Keep those dreams big and your mindset unstoppable. Take one step today toward the life you're manifesting, because you can create anything you imagine. If you can think it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. Visit PapiMindsetCoach.com for more resources and follow us at Papi Mindset Coach on social platforms for daily inspiration. If you love this episode, share it with someone ready to transform their life. Until next time, stay focused, stay positive, and keep on manifesting your best life. See you soon.